Welcome home to St. Anne's. We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.
So you may know that a few things are a little bit different today, and that is because today is the day that here at St. Anne's we celebrate St. Nicholas. So I'll give you a little bit of a rundown on St. Nicholas and why I think he's so important for us as Christians today. So Nicholas of Myra, which is a part of now modern-day Turkey, was a bishop in around the 300s, in that range of time. We think, can we be honest for a second, just between us? Records from that point in time are not the best. So if you're looking for scientific fact, there's the door. But if you are trying to figure out how to live a better Christian life and how to learn from the saints who have come before us, you're in the right place. And so Nicholas was a bishop. And there are many, many stories about him. He is literally the patron saint of everything. Everybody wants a piece of St. Nicholas. I mean, quite literally, there are parts of him all over the world because we as Christians, okay, maybe not we anymore, but we have this idea that if we have a piece of the body or the true cross, some sort of relic, that there's some sort of like magical stuff to them. Ew. But y'all do you. In fact, if you want to do something really cool, if you ever go to a big church, which is a saint something something, now this one I don't think this is accurate, but historically speaking, a piece of that saint has to be buried under the altar. Yeah, did you know that? So cool, right? So when you go to those churches, you can be like, about your relic, what you got? You got a fingernail? What do you have? We don't have anything from St. Anne because someday I'll tell you the true story of St. Anne. Not today. Another sermon. I'm already ruining saints for you today. I'm not going to ruin this one. Okay, so Nicholas, patron saint of everything, because he's super cool and everybody loves Nicholas and everybody wants Nicholas to be their saint. So he's super, super popular. And there are quite a few stories around him, and I'll share a couple with you because I think they're kind of amusing, and you might see a pattern with other things in our secular world. Just saying. One of the stories of St. Nicholas, there are many, many. One of the fun ones, I mean, if you're into blood and gore, is that 3 kids are wandering through the woods one day, and they get lost, and they go to this inn, and this guy is also a butcher. And so he kills them. He slaughters them, and he puts them in pickling brine, and he decides to sell them for meat later. But it's okay, because Nicholas knows about it. So Nicholas comes along to the end, and he's like, hey, butcher dude, I know what you have in those pickling barrels over there. And he puts the kids back together, and hooray! Another story is they're seminarians. I mean, we've all wanted to butcher a seminarian now and again. They're annoying. I was one. I get it. Okay, so that's one fun story. That's a fun one, right? Yeah. What up, butchering kids and putting them back together? That's cool. You're going to look at pickled pig's feet way differently from now on. But the most common story of St. Nicholas, and like I said, there are many, many, most common one in which you might see parallels. I don't know. I'm just throwing this out here. Because, it's St. Nick. I'm not winking at you, but I'm winking at you. Okay, this story goes, there is a poor man, and he has 3 daughters. Now, in this time and place, now me personally, I love having 3 daughters. I think it's great. But I don't have to pay for someone to marry them. Because that gets expensive to, pay someone to take your daughter off your hands. So you have a poor man, and he cannot afford dowries for these 3 daughters. So what is he going to do with 3 girls littering up his home? Well, he's probably going to have to, sell them. So we're looking at, not a good future for these girls. Prostitution, possibly. Not good. Not good. And Nicholas knows this. He's the bishop in this area, and he's very much aware of his flock, and he knows that this is going to be a problem. But he also knows that this man is not going to take a handout because he's very proud, and he's not going to do that. So Nicholas, who has a beautiful white horse, because when you're a bishop, you've got really cool vestments, and you want a really cool ride. I mean, if I were a bishop, I'd have a white horse too. I'm just saying. So he goes riding out in his white horse, and he rides by the man's house. And the window is open because, why wouldn't it be? I guess. I don't know. Don't get too technical. It's a story. And the girls have washed their stockings because, stockings stink. And they're poor, so they've hung them up along the mantle over the fireplace. Are you seeing any parallels here? Okay, because you want to get them dry because they're wet and you washed them. But the window's open, and that's handy. So he rides along on his horse, and he's got, now it depends on the story, he has a gold ball, or he's just got a bag of gold coins. I don't know, whatever. He throws them through the window, and we really wish he played for the Royals because he nails them in the stockings. I don't know, it'd be great if he played for the Chiefs today too, because we're playing the Patriots, and we kind of want a good thrower. And he manages to land these gold coins. Now, depending on the story, he does it 3 nights consecutively, or he does it 1 night. We don't know. Let's not get technical. But suddenly, Dad has enough money. The girls have enough money to get married. Hooray. Hooray. My daughters better not be looking at me because this is not happening. I'm spending my money on that white horse, not on your wedding. Just saying that now. In the 20 years, I'm like, hey, Mom, can I have $10,000? I'm like, no, it's on the horse. I already spent it. So this is the story of St. Nicholas. There are a few parallels there, maybe. I don't know. Does some of that kind of click with you? Okay. Here's the thing. St. Nicholas has become a myth, right? These stories take on these huge grandeur stories, right? And, we still have stories of St. Nick, right? We still have these incredible tales. But somehow, they feel fantastic. I literally told these stories in the most sarcastic way fashionable. That's also how I talk, but there's a reason. Because they're ridiculous, right? It's bizarre, and it's weird, and it's ridiculous. And it's myth and legend and story and fantastic heroes, right? We love to have these fantastic, out-of-the-world heroes. And you want to know what I've been thinking about it? And I think I know why. Because there is safety in hero worship. When we talk about myth and legend and ridiculous stories and superheroes, we know it's not real. And if we know it's not real, then you and I don't have to live like that. Because it's so fantastic. It's so ridiculous. I can joke to you about having a huge white horse and throwing gold balls around. Heads up, you know how hard it is to find a gold ball with our treasury system? Don't try. They're going to frown on you if you're like, hey, got some 5,000, would love to put it in gold. Can I get that in ball form? They're going to be like, yeah, no. We don't even follow the gold standard anymore, but let's not get technical on that. That's for the sermon where I talk about St. Anne isn't really a saint. I'll ruin some more things for you some other time. Gold standard being one of them. We know it's ridiculous and it's absurd, right? And that makes it safe. When myth and legend are absurd and ridiculous and out of our reach, it's safe. Because you and I don't have to do it. You and I don't have to ride a white horse. We don't have to throw gold around. But I'm going to challenge you that that's not the point of saints and heroes. The the point of saints and heroes is that they're human, just like us. Nicholas was a human, just like us. Now, he wore crazy vestments and he had a sweet white horse. Anyone else here got a sweet white horse? Yeah, see, we do. I know I have a brown horse, and he's like 30-something. I got him when I was 4, and my poor parents are still boarding this horse. So to the parents out there who have little girls who are like, I want a pony. And you're like, it's really only a $10-year investment, right? No, my parents have been paying on this horse for like 25 years. He's fantastic, though, and he's lovely. He's not white, though, and he's wonderful. I love him. Okay, side story there. But can we change the world anyway? Are we called to change the world anyway? So maybe you're not going to drive, or you're not going to take your white horse, but could you drive your late model Honda? Maybe you could. And let's see, his big things, one of his big things was children. He cared a lot about the safety of kids and how they were treated. He cared a lot about the slavery of children. He cared a lot about violence against children. Anyone else here care about kids? Please raise your hand. If you have your hand down, I'm going to call you out later. We are having a conversation. Okay, otherwise, and this is probably not the Sunday for you, because this is like Kids Sunday here. We care about those things, right? And he cared about violence and depravity against women. That's why he was helping this man out, because he knew what could happen to these girls. He cared about violence against women and trafficking and prostitution and violence, right? Anyone else care? Better raise your hand again, because if you have your hand down, you're having a conversation with Meg later. Do we care about those things? Yes. Can we do things about those? Can we do something about those things? Absolutely. And you don't need a white horse and a huge ball of gold to do it. We can write letters. We can drive our Honda to go give resources to homes that protect women who have experienced violence. We can do things to protect kids. You can reach out to foster and adopt and all those things, and you can do something. You can support those things. And guys, that is why St. Nicholas is St. Nicholas. Not because of horses or stockings or putting pickled kids back together. Ew. No, because you and I are called to do those things too. Because when we step into this Christian life, when we experience humanity, we are called to change it. We don't need horses, and we don't need big, fantastic stories. We don't need to be heroes. We are called to be heroes, not mythical ones. Not big fancy stories that seem so absurd and ridiculous to us, but real stories. Heroes day in and day out in little bitty ways. We are called to protect kids. We are called to stop violence against people who have minority status. We are called to do these things because we are Christians. And St. Nicholas doesn't exist because of presents and fantastic stories. St. Nicholas exists because you and I need people to look up to. We need other humans on the ground who have done these things to be like, yeah, I could do that too. I could do that too. And so today, I beg you, I ask you, end the ridiculous hero worship. We don't need it. Ridiculous hero worship exists to make us feel safe. When we put other people up on pedestals, we do that because it puts them away from us. And when we put them away from us, you and I don't have to do it. But we do. We do have to do it because that's how it happens. The St. Nicholas of the world is really just you and me doing the things that we're called to do by Christ. So today, I say to you, mount up. And if you have white horse, Harry has white horse, can we borrow it?
We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons.
All right, please
We
stand
can't
together
wait
say
to
the
meet
words.
you.